it's a little overwhelming, and I feel like I got I got my points across. You know what I'm saying? I got my 40 points across. I'm satisfied. That's because now the segment is gonna go on for way too long. Because now we gotta kick it with the psyche a little bit. Yeah. Well, that's the channel. That is the psyche right here. I'm talking about the channel. Yeah. So 7 signs you've already passed the most painful test of your soul. Carl Jung. You know what I'm saying? Wholesome wisdom from this man right here, philosopher right here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at this point, I don't even give a fuck if the man existed or not. The information that comes from this kind of IP, intellectual property, it's worth breaking down. You know what I'm saying? And this right here is the hidden psychology. You know what I'm saying? Of going through the most harsh or learning the toughest situations. Let's call it that. You know what I'm saying? The psychology that's developed when you've went through tough situations. Let's get it.
Imagine that the deepest pain you've ever faced was not a punishment, but a preparation. Imagine that every heartbreak, loss, and moment of despair was not a sign of failure, but the sacred process of your soul awakening. What if the very darkness you once feared was the crucible that forged your spiritual strength? Today we will explore something profound.
Okay, just before we continue though, I don't know, you guys will go ahead and share your experiences in the comment section, but you know what I'm saying? The one experience I'd say was an experience that was the toughest, but I learned the most valuable lessons, right? I'd say it's been a collective of them, but they've had like the same theme, and it's the theme of loss, bro. I hate losing things, right? I still do to this day. Like, I hate losing things because I hate like the whole idea of having to start over, right? To start something from scratch and everything, especially when you've put like a whole bunch of work, a whole just amount of just effort and work and energy behind something, blood, sweat, and tears and something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate loss, bro. I hate loss. I hate losing something, and a whole lot of themes where it's like. Well, I pointed out the fact that I hate it to this day. Well, I hate it today because I hated it even worse when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I feel like most people go through this when you're young. You feel like you're gonna retain some of the things that you have for a long time, forever. You know what I'm saying? There might have been a time when you thought the Tooth Fairy was gonna be existent forever. You know what I'm saying? Or Santa Claus. Well, thankfully, no person younger than 8 watches this. That's for the YouTube kids. Cause I was about thinking like, yo, hope I'm not bursting against anybody's bubble right here. You know what I'm saying? But I know it ain't no 6, 7, 8, 9-year-olds that watch my channel. So, but those are the ages when you still think maybe things will stick around forever. You know what I'm saying? Your friends, you feel me? Life, your parents, your mom, your dad, happy moments, you feel me? Your own life. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I didn't mean to take it that deep and that dark. But then I was literally I was like, yo, everything that I held, I attached to it super hard. And I remember the first group of friends that I even had to separate from was around the age of 8, bro. I'm saying, transitioning to another part of like the country, you know what I mean, and having to start over there. I remember even at age 9, dog, I didn't start no new friends. I think it was only up until age, let me see something, maybe late primary school, bro. Grade 5, maybe grade 6, 7. You know what I'm saying? All the way from like grade 2, dog. Like, I was like, man, F all that, dog. Like, it just disarmed me so much. So, moments for me that like, provided the toughest lessons were moments when I had to lose some things. You know what I'm saying? Especially that first heartbreak, bro. Ugh. Oh, that one, I did not, you know what I'm saying? That first heartbreak one, bro. Oh my, let me not even get into that. This is not the video for that. We break it down to psychology, not the, not the heart. You know what I'm saying?
7 signs that you have already passed the most painful test of your soul. And the 7th one is the most powerful of all.
Let's get into
it. Will completely change the way you understand your journey, your wounds, and your inner light. Before we begin, take a moment to subscribe to this channel, leave a like, and share your thoughts in the comments.
No. I'll definitely give you that subscribe, but like we are literally on this account right now, so that so that we get the premium, treatment. You know what I'm saying? Channel where I'm actually subscribed or have to subscribe to your shit is, not premiumed up. So we shall do that, when the time is right.
Reflections are part of this collective exploration. What we are about to discuss may not only help you see your life differently, it may help you finally understand the deeper meaning of your own transformation.
Sure.
Carl Jung believed that the human soul evolves through a process of suffering, integration, and rebirth. He called it individuation, the sacred path of becoming who you truly are.
Okay, look, I do see, a very big significance in adopting that kind of mindset, right? Where it's like it's not the end all and be all of everything, where it's like you have to suffer for you to grow in life. You have to suffer, but a dose of it is needed, right? A percentage of it, because again, it's like when you experience nothing but suffering, then obviously now you get people that come to a point of like questioning everything on some negative vibe, right? Why am I even here? And literally go ahead and succeed in self-deletion, right? And then you get individuals like that. But you do need a little bit of that suffering so that you can, by the time you experience that relief, that contrast, bro, it just gives you the experience of the goodness of life, right? From the suffering to the goodness. But you're only experiencing that goodness because we're only, having this temporary relief from the suffering. You understand what I'm saying? Because you got to look at it from the other side of the coin too. Life cannot be void of the suffering, because then again it makes what we're experiencing very redundant and very like purposeless and very like directionless. You know what I'm saying? Because what direction does suffering give you? It gives you the direction of you moving towards a space where you don't suffer. You know what I'm saying? Where you experience the relief. That's the direction we moving towards, right? The direction towards relief and advancement and success and all this thing, right? But then that's the direction that suffering has to give. So suffering is necessary. You understand what I'm saying? That's the point I'm trying to reiterate, that the necessity of it.
But few
the necessity of a percentage of it, not, you know what I'm saying? Not the whole entire thing being the whole thing now.
Realize that this process often hides behind life's most painful experiences.
Are you sure?
The truth is, the greatest spiritual test of your life rarely announces itself. It comes disguised as loss, chaos, or emptiness.
Yeah, that's right.
And only after you've survived it do you begin to realize what it was preparing you for.
Damn.
Think back for a moment.
Why?
Was there a time when everything in your life seemed to collapse? When people left, opportunities
Oh, yes, and yes. Yeah, that's facts.
vanished, and you no longer recognize the person you used to be. Many who have passed this silent initiation remember a season like that, a time when life stripped away every illusion, leaving them face to face with their raw essence. This is the essence of what Jung called the night sea journey, the descent into the unconscious, into the shadow, where everything you have denied about yourself waits to be integrated.
Look. I don't know like why this is a reality that just like exists, or why this is a circumstance that people more often than not, I realize, go through, right? A whole lot of people go through this kind of circumstance where it's like, yo, that first heartbreak, dog. God, I'm talking about like, from a romantic, just like, severance, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like splitting of like somebody you thought may have been your soulmate, etc. Right? Damn, that shit is like that. Man, I don't know if it's only me. That shit like had a nigga questioning like even my existence, nigga, the purpose. You know what I'm saying? My purpose, nigga. Why do I eat the food that I eat? I can't believe this. Like what? Why do I shower the way that I shower? Like, come on, bruh. How was I even born in the country I was? Bro, you just fucking broke up with the. Come on, bro. It's just a break. It's like, yo, some of these things will just shift your whole paradigms, right? And I'm not invalidating or talking down on the fact that, yo, a heartbreak is something small, blah blah. But I feel like, it's a matter of you getting to that state of mind, state of psychology, where it's like state of psychological just being, right? Where it's like, yo, things are crumbling, because sometimes it's just maybe a momentum that's being built, right, from small instances of maybe resistance, small instances of maybe you not winning, you not getting things right, and then maybe that next small hurdle, maybe a small little fork in the road, small little hurdle, maybe a little bit of conflict at work, and now it's like your whole world is crumbling, bro. You know what I'm saying? I feel like now when you start questioning other things that are unrelated to what you're going through right now, on some negative vibe, once you start questioning a whole bunch of other things, to a point where like your life really changes, you know what I'm saying? At that point, it's like it's been a build-up of a whole bunch of things, right? That's why even like with the relationship thing, you know what I'm saying, with the heartbreak, in terms of relationship and romance, with me, like that was the straw that broke that camel's back, right? That brought other things that have been just like, yeah, pesticides to my, mental, bro. I don't know, are pesticides a negative thing? Say demons, yeah, demons that just live inside the mental just to drain your energy. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, it gets tough sometimes. You're not alone.
Passing the test of the soul means you face this darkness and emerge with new eyes.
You gotta face it.
It means that the storm didn't destroy you; it revealed you. The first sign that you have passed the most painful test of your soul is that you no longer fear solitude. At some point, your loneliness stopped feeling like punishment and began to feel like peace. You discovered that being alone is not the same as being abandoned.
Like, to me, actually, another point about that is it gave me more, like, the solitude that I came to actually even fall in love with. You know what I'm saying? It gave me opportunity to kick my creativity, bro. You know what I'm saying? Have like more space to brainstorm with the ideas that I have, ruminate with them even more without, being disturbed by the rest of life. Right? So like, and for me that was a very important thing. I'm a creator, bro. Like ideas, like fresh ideas, innovative ideas are very valuable to me. I gotta use them, and only when I'm alone is when I just get to go crazy in terms of the creativity and how we can literally apply these ideas and things. Like, for me, that's fun as fuck. I'm not gonna lie.
Instead, it became the sacred space where you finally heard your own voice again.
Yep.
Many ancient traditions speak of this. In the desert, prophets found clarity. In silence, mystics found God. And in isolation, countless souls have rediscovered their truth. If you can now sit with yourself without running away from your thoughts, if you can rest in your own presence without needing constant distraction, your soul has matured beyond dependency. You no longer seek validation to know your worth, because you have already looked into the abyss and realized that you are enough. This kind of peace cannot be taught. It is earned through endurance, through the silent tears and the nights when you thought you would never make it. The second sign is that you have stopped blaming others for your pain. There was a time when you looked outward, searching for someone to hold responsible for what happened to you. But something changed. Instead of seeing villains, you began to see teachers. You realized that those who hurt you were...
Instead of seeing villains, you began to see teachers. And I feel like at that point, that's when your demons become your angels, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know that, the POV or the perception of what influences you like negatively, aka your demons, can be something that, if placed properly or being projected in proper like scenarios, being projected onto the relevant real life circumstances, your demons can actually be your angels. Like, they can have positive effect. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I don't know. I don't know. Who's that guy? Who's that guy that runs, that podcast, $1 million worth of game with Gilly the Kid? That dude, right? I saw like an interview, talking about he was into gangsterism and all this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? I think it was in the Thai Boogie podcast, and the Thai Boogie was actually reacting to this, right? And that brother was breaking down how him being in the gangs, you know, in the, well, gangsterism and just like degenerate activities, he something powerful that was said to him stuck with him, right? And it was that you have to, well, no. He was sat down with one of his friends, and they had told him, yo, let's not do this wrong thing, because you cannot seem to do this wrong thing the right way. You know what I'm saying? All you do is do the wrong thing the wrong way. And it's like, wait, there's a reality where you can do the wrong thing the right way? You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, that's kind of twisted. But then if you dive into things like that, into concepts and mentalities like that, you understand, you know what I'm saying? Why it's like, yo, you know, some of these things, when are done in the right contexts, you know what I mean? So the toughest things, or what you may deem as the most negative things, when it's just put under the right lens, you could see that its existence can be positive. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think I'm getting too deep for niggas. Sorry, bro. Let me just let the video.
Often unconscious instruments of your awakening.
Yep.
Jung once wrote that everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves.
Why?
When you truly grasp that, you begin to transform suffering into wisdom. It's not about condoning cruelty or forgetting betrayal. It's about understanding that your soul used those experiences to show you where your wounds were hiding.
That's right.
When you reach this level of awareness, life stops being a battlefield and becomes a classroom. You begin to live from a place of quiet compassion, even for those who caused you pain, because you now understand that they too were fighting battles you could not see. The third sign is subtle, yet profound. You feel gratitude for the lessons hidden in your suffering. Gratitude used to feel impossible, even offensive when you were still bleeding from life's wounds. But now when you look back, you can see how each trial shaped you, softened you, and deepened your understanding of what really matters. This is not toxic positivity. It's the mature recognition that meaning can coexist with pain. Ask yourself, can I now look at my past not as a curse, but as the sacred ground where my soul grew? Can I feel a quiet thankfulness for the journey, even with all its heartbreaks? If so, you have crossed the threshold. You've turned pain into purpose and scars into wisdom. Every person who transcends the test of the soul reaches this moment. When they finally stop asking, why did this happen to me? And start asking, what is life trying to show me through this? That shift of perspective marks the true beginning of enlightenment.
So from why me to what, you know, what am I trying to learn here? What is life trying to show me here?
It is the moment your consciousness expands beyond the victim.
And I feel like at that point you're asking, you know, you'd be asking yourself the right questions. That's the right questions. What am I supposed to see in this circumstance? You know what I'm saying? Not like, yo, why me, God, and like, you know, the whole victim mentality type thing.
Of the ego, and begins to see the divine intelligence working behind the chaos.
And you know, and you know why I feel like that kind of advice actually could be good, even for like the young men out there. You know what I'm saying? My young bulls out there. You feel me? Especially with the, you know, Gen Zs. You know, you get even the Gen Alphas and things like that. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, yo, this is how you get yourself out of maybe falling for, you know, women out here that can use you for something that's like, you know, not related to the authenticity that you are, dog. You know what I'm saying? They could be using you for not the real you, is what I'm trying to say. And then that could make you easily fall into the victim mindset. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're gonna end up be asking, you know, like, why me? Like, nah, why do I keep, you know, attracting these kind of 304s and, you know, these kind of lost minds, lost causes out here of females? You know what I'm saying? Whereas it's like, yo, if you could step back, bro, and instead of asking yourself, yo, why me? It's like, yo, what am I trying to see? What am I supposed to see out of these kind of women that I do attract? Because yes, another thing, you do contribute to that, right? Whether consciously or subconsciously, it's like, it's the people that you know, you spark interest in. You know, you pique interest in. You feel what I'm saying? So, and that with that being said, though, it's like, now if you can see what you're supposed to see, that no, it's in maybe what you're doing, right? Or it's in maybe the subconscious patterns that you have going on that attract maybe people that you may not be attracted to sometimes. You know, that's why you may be, you know, you may end up asking yourself, like, why do I keep attracting the asshole? Why do I keep attracting, like, the idiot, bro, the slow one? Like, what? All beauties, no brain. All booty, but no no sane mind. You know, it's like, nah, bro. You can't even. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta start asking the right questions. My young bulls out there, bro. Like facts.
Stay with me until the end, because the final sign we'll explore in the 7th is the most transformative of all.
Let's do it.
It reveals the hidden meaning behind your entire journey.
Do it now.
And shows you the ultimate proof that your soul has already passed through its darkest night.
Nice.
The 4th sign that you have already passed the most painful test of your soul is that you have developed an unshakable sense of inner calm, even when life becomes chaotic.
Stoicism. Would that count as stoicism? Developing an incredible sense of inner calm, right? Co-pilot. I don't think my boy can hear me. Co-pilot. Yo, what's going on with you, nigga? Do I gotta like refresh you, nigga? Co-pilot. Damn, some having my boy co-pilot, man, who broke my nigga though. Yo.
Hi there, Seasway.
Yo, would you say that developing an incredible sense of calm, would you associate that with stoicism?
Stoicism? Oh, for sure. Let's dive in.
No, I'm saying, like, would you say developing an incredible sense of inner calm, would you equate that to stoicism?
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. So cultivating a real deep calm within yourself definitely vibes with what the Stoics were all about. They were big on mastering your emotions and finding a steady inner peace regardless of what's going on in the outside world. So yeah, I'd say they totally give you a Stoic thumbs up for that approach. Now tell me, what sparked your interest in that connection?
It's just a reaction video I'm doing right quick, my brother, you feel me? Wait, why don't you want to maximize, nigga? Alright, cool, yeah.
There was a time when every unexpected challenge would send you spiraling into fear, anger, or despair.
Nice.
But now, even when everything around you falls apart, something inside remains still, as if your soul remembers that you have already survived storms greater than this. Carl Jung said that, in all chaos there is a cosmos, in all disorder, a secret order. Those words hold profound truth. You have learned that life does not need to be perfect to be meaningful.
And I feel like, you know what I'm saying, how that can just like, how that point could be substantiated. Substantiate. Yeah, something like that, right? How can it be like elaborated upon, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Expounded upon. You know what I'm saying? Wait, is the fact that, right, this kind of going through these kind of circumstances, right, going through these kind of tough moments in life, I feel like it can help you spot what matters and what doesn't, right? Like, it can help you not sweat the small shit, right? The things that fall apart, that may be falling apart next to you, you know what I'm saying, behind you, oh, to the side, oh, to that side, what? Nah, like, what? Water off a duck's back, thank you, see you. See you. Alright, my bad. Dog, I'm gonna work on the soundboard. My fault. I'm gonna work on the soundboard instead of, you know. I know it might be leaving you a little bit awkward, bro. Me doing the sounds of my lips and shit. Pause. Nah. Wait, what was I saying? Oh yeah, like, you know, things falling apart, like, you know, around you, bro. Like, you could like literally be able to focus on like what you need to focus on, and making sure that that's attended to. You know what I'm saying? That is like the proper effort and energies put to the right shit. You know what I'm saying? Instead of, you know, worrying about dead weight, worrying about saving, you know, trying to catch falling dead weight. You feel what I'm saying? It's dead, let it fall. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, but I feel like that kind of muscle is developed, you know, through going through enough of those experiences. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, but when you're young, you know, in your younger years, you still want to try, like, just make sure you save everything, please everybody, this, that, and the third. And then it's like, yo, trying to make sure that everything is in line, and, you know, you gotta Captain Save a Hoe every girl that you meet. It's like, it's, you know, it can get crazy. But
you no longer resist uncertainty, because you have discovered that peace is not found in control, but in surrender.
Type shit.
When you reach this point, life stops feeling like a constant struggle against fate.
I see.
You begin to trust the unfolding of things, not with blind faith, but with deep knowing born from experience.
Yeah.
You might still feel pain, but it no longer defines you. The fear that once dominated your mind has lost its power, because you now recognize it as a passing visitor, not a permanent state.
Yep.
You've realized that emotional turbulence is not a sign of weakness. It's a reminder that you are human, still learning, still expanding. And so you face challenges with grace because you no longer need the illusion of certainty to feel safe. Your compassion has deepened, not diminished.
Compassion has deepened, not diminished. Talk about it.
Often when people endure deep suffering, they harden. They close their hearts to avoid being hurt again. But those who have truly passed the test of the soul do the opposite. You've allowed your pain to soften you, not break you.
I see.
You feel the struggles of others more vividly now, because you recognize parts of yourself in their eyes.
Yep.
This compassion is not sentimental.
What is it?
It's born from understanding.
Really?
You no longer judge as quickly, because you know how it feels to lose direction, to be misunderstood,
Yes.
to fight invisible battles in
Yes.
silence. The empathy.
So nah. That one I really do gotta, you know what I'm saying? We gotta break it down respectfully. We gotta give it its own just like moment of yaps. You feel me? It's like, yo, yeah, you do end up developing an empathy for people who go through the similar, through situations that are similar, to the tough situations that you went through. You know what I'm saying? And that thing is so real, bro. And you know what I'm saying? Again, I'm pointing out the fact that I'm that much of a sensitive soul that I can see you go through some shit, right, with somebody else, and notice that somebody else is putting you in a position that I once was, that made things tough for me, right? And wherever I can help the situation, I'm the type to even be able to help you without you even knowing, if it's possible, right? Like, because that kind of thing, it can move me so much. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that, okay, you're going through something I literally faced head on, bro. I know exactly how that shit felt. I know, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like I've uncovered the kind of mindset that could help you get through that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm reaching out. You know what I mean? I'm reaching out. It even gets so deep to a point where, I could see you as my enemy going through that kind of thing, where I try and help you without you, not like, I try to help you indirectly, bro. That's how sensitive I am to that kind of thing. So this one is a very deep point, bro. That's very true, bro. W point, nigga.
The you now carry is not weakness. It is sacred strength.
Yep.
It is the mark of someone who has seen the depths and chosen love anyway. When you reach this stage, you begin to attract others who are also walking their own path of healing.
I see.
Conversations become deeper, relationships more authentic. You feel drawn to people who value truth, vulnerability, and spiritual growth. This shift in vibration is not accidental. It is your soul's way of aligning with what now resonates with your frequency of consciousness.
For real?
Yet this new awareness also brings solitude of a different kind.
Yep.
You might notice that some relationships fade away naturally. It's not because of resentment, but because your energy no longer matches. This, too, is a sign of growth. You've learned to release with peace, to let go without bitterness. You understand now that every soul you meet plays its role. Some come to teach, some to test, and a few to stay. But none were meant to last beyond their divine purpose in your story. The sixth sign that you have passed the test of your soul is the ability to live with uncertainty and still move forward with faith.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you are now not afraid of the unknown, living with the uncertainty, right? Wouldn't you say that's like just being comfortable with living with the unknown, because you've gotten to the other side of that unknown, right? And now you can see exactly that on the other side of an unknown veil is never nothing to destroy you anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's just maybe the fear of the void, man. The fear of just, you don't know what you're gonna bump in the dark. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what you might bump into. You might fuck around and stumble on a pile of, a pile of money, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But it's in the dark. You tripped off of that bag of money. You tripped off of that bag, of 800K cash. You know what I'm saying? And bumped your head, and now you're now bleeding. It hurts, yes. But then, you start realizing, you start feeling things. You start using your other senses. You start using your intuition. Nigga, I just tripped and folded in the bank safe. What? Now watch that pain become into just like pain of just pleasure, nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's like I stumbled on a bag of cash. You know what I'm saying? It was just the fear of what you couldn't see in the dark. You feel me? Alright, let me just go ahead and I do this little small reaction scene right here, so I can just like, hit my smokes real quick. You know what I'm saying?
No longer
without being super apparent and super just in your face while I do it. Alright, my bad.
feels like a series of random events. Even when you don't have all the answers, you feel guided by an invisible current, something larger than logic. You might call it destiny, intuition, or divine timing, but deep down, you know it's real. In Jungian terms, this is the moment when the conscious and the unconscious begin to work together. You trust your intuition because it has proven itself in the fire of experience. That quiet inner voice that once seemed faint now speaks with clarity, and you listen. You make choices not from fear, but from alignment with your authentic self. When you trust this inner guidance, your life begins to unfold in synchronistic ways. You notice patterns, coincidences, and subtle signs from the universe that seem to confirm you're on the right path. Jung called this phenomenon synchronicity, meaningful coincidences that reveal the hidden order of reality. Those who have passed the soul's hardest test begin to experience this more often, because their inner and outer worlds are now in harmony. This is the stage where your old self begins to dissolve. You no longer chase things that once seemed essential: validation, approval, competition, the endless pursuit of status. Instead, you seek peace, purpose, and authenticity. You understand that your worth is not something to be proven, but something to be remembered. You begin to ask different questions. Not how can I get more, but how can I live more truthfully? Not who do I need to become, but who was I before I learned to doubt myself? These are the questions of an awakened soul, one that no longer seeks external confirmation, but listens to the wisdom that rises from within. And yet, even here, the journey is not over. There remains one final revelation, the seventh and most powerful sign. It is the ultimate proof that you have already passed the most painful test of your soul. It is the key that unlocks not only understanding, but liberation. Before we uncover that final truth, reflect for a moment. Have you felt these changes in yourself? Have you noticed that you react differently to pain, to people, to life itself? Share your reflections in the comments, because your story might be the mirror someone else needs to see their own transformation. Stay with me until the end, because what comes next will illuminate the real purpose behind all your suffering.